Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the raw intent. One last look in the mirror. They're gonna know your name. Somebody's gonna take a second look. Too cool to choose single, any angle, hypersexual, serial beast. Wear it on your sleeve. Hey, baby, do you like it kind of rough? Do you
Welcome to another edition of PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore. I'm Norm Waymer. We'll take you through the next 60 minutes. We'll get you updated on what has been a very, very busy time for all of us here in Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. We are a week removed from Fan Appreciation Night. So we are 6 days removed from our big November show, and having back-to-back nights. We thank all the people that showed up to the events. Some showed up to both events. Some tried out one of our events for the first time and had a great time because it was an incredible, incredible weekend. Now, we did no TV taping for our Fan Appreciation Night, and the big news that came out of Fan Appreciation Night was we got a brand new PCW heavyweight champion. That was Brian Castle, who pulled the upset, pulled the shocker in his hometown, defeated the Righteous Maker Rick Baker, and for the first time became PCW heavyweight champion. Now, what that meant was that the following night, he was going to defend his title against the amazing Nate Matson. Now, one of the things that happened at Fan Appreciation Night was during that match that Brian Castle became PCW heavyweight champion, a stranger, a masked individual came out during the match, grabbed the Mod Father, and took him to the back, took him away. He was not at ringside, and that may have helped Brian Castle to win the PCW heavyweight title. At least it left it to be one-on-one, and Brian Castle rose to the occasion. So we start out this show the way we started out our notorious November 6 days ago with, well, a returning manager to Powerbomb Championship Wrestling who brought the new PCW heavyweight champion Brian Castle to the ring and tried to clear up the heavyweight title situation. Let's go to it. 6 days ago, notorious November, it starts out with a returning wrestling manager.
TK Podcast! You guys could all learn a little something from that. Hey, go get him. Now, it's been a little while since I've been in Toledo, Ohio, and I'll tell you what, it's been a really good while because I hate this town. I hate this guy with the camera. I hate these guys behind the microphone. I hate security, and I hate the fans of Toledo. But lucky for you, I am back. And I don't know, show of hands, how many people were here last night? So you guys, you saw a new heavyweight champion crowned? Well, I'd like to talk to this champion. So, from what I understand, he's your hometown boy? How about at this time I introduce to you your PCW heavyweight champion, Brian Castle. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your heavyweight champion, Brian Castle. You know, big man, you know how these people are. These people, they didn't believe in you. You know, you and I, listen, big man, you and I have gone down the roads together. We've known each other a long time. We have history. You know, TK has always had your back and always believed in you. These people, they don't care about you. They don't. You people don't care about him. So, hey, address these people. Let them know, they don't care about you. You let them know how you feel.
First and foremost, TK, you and I have never been on the road together unless it's been at a show, you asking me for my autograph. Secondly, I know you're wrong because everyone in this city, everyone in Toledo has supported me since day one, and I thank you. You hear that? You see, TK, I am Toledo. I am the definition of what it means to be a Toledo win. I am a hard worker. I never give up. And you're darn sure I'm going to fight for everything I get, just like this PCW heavyweight title.
Big man, you might be, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't know why you're talking to me like this. Hey.
Get to the point.
Okay. All right. So my point, big man, is you're willing to defend that belt against anybody? Anybody.
You're absolutely right. I will defend this belt against anyone in the back, anyone across the world, anytime, any place.
So, let's see. You're willing to defend it against the guy that got robbed last night, former PCW champion Rick Baker? You're willing tonight to defend against him?
Got robbed? You're out of your mind. You obviously saw something completely different. I had him beat clean 1, 2, 3 after he tried to cheat. Secondly, absolutely I'll defend it against Rick Baker. But not tonight. He has to earn his shot just like I earned mine. Tonight is Nate Matson's night. He earned the shot. You gotta be kidding me.
All these stupid people know that I'm the real PCW champion. You didn't win nothing. And anyways, I deserve a title shot. In my contract, it states I get a rematch. That's right. So you can forget about your match tonight. You can forget about Nate Matson. He ain't nobody, no way. Tonight, that belt is going right here. So that's who you're going to wrestle. You can just give it up right now. All these idiots know that that belongs to me.
I didn't invite you out here, Nate Matson. I didn't invite you out here, Nate Matson.
Let me tell you, give me that microphone. You hold that and you shut your mouth. For those of you who missed Fan Appreciation Night, we saw Brian Castle whoop your booty. And he is the current PCW heavyweight champion. But as it's been stated on TV the last couple weeks, that the winner of that match would face Amazing Nate Matson. I am the #1 contender. It's gonna happen tonight because it's already signed.
We have a rematch clause, and you might as well go back to the dressing room. You might as well go eat nachos with the fans.
You can have your rematch after I beat Nate.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Listen up. I understand I was here last night. I've seen a lot of different things. So here's what we're gonna do. Right here, tonight, in this ring. We're gonna have a triple threat match. For the PCW. Nate, wait a minute. That's right. And for some reason, if you do not come on top tonight, you are still the #1 contender for a title shot. That's the way it's going down, right here.
So what you're trying to say, is tonight's main event for the PCW Heavyweight Championship is the champion Brian Castle defending against former heavyweight champion Rick Baker and the current #1 contender for the heavyweight championship, Nate Matson. I think signed, sealed, delivered, folks. That's your main event for the evening.
Norm, that's kind of a bombshell, isn't it?
Absolutely it is.
So we thought that Brian...
I'm not sure it's fair to anybody.
No, and the commissioner maybe did the best that he could to appease all of the participants involved in this. But yeah, I think everyone kind of has a little bit of a beef with what was just set up here. But regardless of that, it's going to be a triple threat between the Righteous Maker Rick Baker, Amazing Nate Matson, and the PCW Heavyweight Champion Brian Castle.
Right, and somehow the Modfather weaseled his guy into this title match, and I can't believe he did it.
I mean, that's the guy who's the odd man out, and all of a sudden now Rick Baker has a chance to regain the PCW Heavyweight title.
Yeah, and Brian Castle can lose the title without getting pinned.
Unbelievable. Once again, the shenanigans of the Modfather and the returning TK Parker. PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling is back at the Believe Center on Sunday, December 6th. It's December Decadence. You can find out more at PCWExcitement.com. Of course, PCW brought to you by Monroe Superstore, Ralph Mahalik, the Low Payment King, Monroe Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep Ram. This is going to be huge. 3 championship matches. All of our championships defended. Celeste Taylor, PCW Cruiserweight Champion, defends against Officer Rod Street. PCW Tag Team Champions Legion defend against William Studd and the Acolyte. PCW Heavyweight Champion, the Righteous Maker Rick Baker versus Brian Castle. And then this one, I couldn't believe it when it was signed. It's a last man standing match. Former partners, now bitter rivals. The Big Bear Benjamin Boone. You're taking on the Amazing Nate Matson. It is a last man standing match. And you're smiling, and that makes me really nervous.
Why? It's the holiday season. It's a season of giving, Boomer. And I'm going to give Amazing Nate Matson one more chance. One more chance to prove that he's the better son. One more chance to prove that he's the better man. But you know something, Boomer? That's not going to happen. You see, Nate, this is a result of karma. You held me back, and as a result, as long as I'm here in PCW, you will never be a champion. So December 6th, PCW, I'm not only going to be the last man standing, I'm going to be the best man standing. Happy holidays, Nate.
He's cool and confident going into that last man standing match. Big Bear Benjamin Boone versus the amazing Nate Madsen. Sunday, December 6th, December Decadence.
Cereal beast, wear it on your sleeve. Hey, baby, do you like it kind of raw? Do you like it?
Save more when you see the Low Payment Kings at the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore during the Low Payment Kings clearance event. You can own a brand new 2015 Chrysler 200 Limited, Jeep Compass, Dodge Journey, or Jeep Renegade Sport. Your choice, 0 down, sign and drive, owned for only $255. That's right, 0 down, sign and drive, owned for only $255. Call us toll free at 1-888-4-DODGE-1 or check out over 600 new and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. You visit MonroeSuperstore.com.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
Cereal beast, wear it on your sleeve. Hey, baby, do you like it kind of raw? Do you like it?
Back we are, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore. And we thank Ralph Mahalik for being a major sponsor here at Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. And you've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. If you're in the market for a car, if you're going to think about purchasing or leasing a vehicle, there's a reason why they call Ralph Mahalik the Low Payment King. Check him out in your search. You will be grateful for that because he's going to save you some money. That's why he's the Low Payment King. All right, so let's, you saw the interview. You saw TK Parker returning to Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. You saw Brian Castle come to the ring. You saw Nate Madsen. You saw the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker. Well, what happened was, and you heard it from the commissioner, Ray Orendorff, that it became a 3-way match between the new champion, Brian Castle, the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker, and the amazing Nate Madsen. And I don't think really it was fair to anybody because for Castle, he was supposed to have a one-on-one match. You know, your odds go from 50-50 to 33% just by having a third person there. Nate Madsen was promised the title shot, is still promised one down the line somewhere if he doesn't win the match. And then you had the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker. Well, maybe it was fair to him because he shouldn't have been in the match in the first place, although as the dethroned champion, well, he was going to get a title shot at some point anyway. So we will show you that triple threat match coming up later in this very program. All right, let's get on to our first match here in this edition of Powerbomb Championship Wrestling on TV. And you will see the big 400-pounder, Big Chuck Wagon, in action as he takes on, well, a guy who's not exactly tiny, Jay Abrams, who goes about 300 pounds himself. So he's going to be the smaller guy in the ring, which doesn't happen very often. So you got really better than 700 pounds of wrestler in the ring. Jay Abrams, Big Chuck Wagon coming to you now on Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Introducing from Cookeville, Tennessee, weighing in at 410 pounds, the Big Chuck And from East Detroit, weighing 301 pounds, Jay Abrams. Your referee is Jeff Hughes.
PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, Sean Boomer Bratton and Norm Waymer. Our call for this match as Big Chuck Wagon takes on Jay Abrams. We've seen Jay Abrams before in PCW. He brings a lot of size, a lot of power. It's really not too often that someone can almost match up with Chuck Wagon in the size department. Jay Abrams, Norm, comes awfully close.
Oh, he's a big son of a gun. There's no question. Big and angry, not a good combination for Chuck Wagon.
No, not at all. Chuck Wagon always likes to have a lot of fun, but once he steps into the ring, he does take his opponents very seriously, and he will have to take Jay Abrams very seriously as Abrams is looking to make a mark here in PCW.
Now, he doesn't appear to be intimidated by anybody either.
No, not at all.
And that's half the battle when you're taking on somebody the size of Chuck Wagon. But while Jay Abrams often has the size advantage on his opponent, he does it this time.
Abrams now circling. Going to look for that opportunity for the first lockup, and Chuck Wagon saying it's not going to happen right now.
Now, Chuck Wagon came within an eyelash of becoming the PCW heavyweight title. It seems like there's 8, 10, 12 wrestlers that on any given night could be PCW heavyweight champion. The competition here is just incredible.
Well, you never get a night off. And every match is so important, as Chuck Wagon really would like to be looked at again by the championship committee, by the Commissioner Ray Orndorff, for a shot against the PCW heavyweight champion.
Well, you never know what you're going to see. You never know what the outcome is going to be. I mean, we, as announcers, we discuss the matches beforehand. We kind of, you know, think who might have the advantage, who might be the favorite, and, you know, how many times have we been wrong?
A lot. That's why I don't gamble.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
There's a reason why I stay away from that.
There's a reason why the casinos have a lot of lights and a lot of...
yeah, exactly.
You don't make that off of winners.
They love it when people like us come in. They're like, ooh. Be able to separate him from his money. And Abrams just going to work now on Chuck Wagon. Pummeling him. Those forearms right into the back. And it's a spot you don't see Chuck Wagon in that often, do you, Norm?
You know, quite frankly, you know, we shoot the TV show, you know, before Saturday night. And we shot it before Fan Appreciation Night. And, you know, we kind of guessed, and we guessed wrong. We apologize for it, that Rick Baker would still be champion at the end of Fan Appreciation Night, and he wasn't.
Yeah. Such shocking developments that we just...
I mean, that just shows you how we get fooled sometimes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. In any of the wrestlers here, you can't look past anyone because you never know on any given night what can happen. You got a guy like Jay Abrams, who we haven't seen often, but when he comes, he wants to bring the fight.
No question. Wow.
And again, you don't see Chuck Wagon manhandled like this that often, if ever.
Or at all, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen him reeling like this.
Well, it's really the only way you could go at him.
Well, and Abrams is bringing the fight.
Absolutely. That's what I said. He's not intimidated in the least.
No, a couple of those shoulder spears.
That's 300 pounds. 301.
Yeah, right in there.
Driving the shoulder right into the midsection. Oh, knee right to the chin.
That Chuck Wagon basically fell right into that one.
That'll knock anybody loopy.
You really think back, how many times do you see Chuck Wagon on the mat?
Not often, unless he's on top of somebody.
Yeah, doing his rolling pin maneuver. Brings himself back up to his feet.
I don't know if that was a good idea for Jay Abrams to let him up off the mat, but...
He sized him up. That back was open and exposed. Now what's Abrams going to do? Just throwing those forearms in now. Misfires on that. And Chuckwagon has to take the opportunity right now, but unfortunately, he's still pretty dazed over what all's been happening.
Checking his tooth.
Punches in. Well, yeah, that knee strike went right up in there.
I think he's got more than one. I'm not
I was
sure.
going to say, were you saying that, singularly? Yes, you were. Yeah, I see what you're, not one tooth in particular, just the whole set of tooth.
I just throw him out there if, you don't bring him in. That's okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Jay Abrams bailed. That was a really good idea on his part.
Yeah, get away. But what's he doing now? He's got something that he pulled out of that hat of his.
Yeah, it looked to me like he pulled a chain out of that hat. Look at his hand.
Now, we saw it. I'm not sure if our cameraman was right over there.
We got a cameraman right there.
Tries to pull Abrams back into the ring. Abrams loaded now. No, it's... Oh, the referee can't see a thing. As he was in between them. And Abrams knocked out Chuckwagon with that chain.
And he's laughing about it. Look at him. Look at him laughing about it. He's still got it. You can see it hanging from his hand.
He goes right on top.
1, 2, 3.
And he just pinned Chuckwagon.
Oh, my gosh.
This was not the result. You talk about it, Norm. This was not the result I was expecting.
Uh-oh. The referee just saw the chain drop to the mat.
So what's he doing? Is he throwing the match out?
Oh, that's got to be a disqualification.
He has reversed his decision. Your winner by disqualification, the Big Chuck Wagon.
Oh, and Chuck Wagon's got to be irate. He goes after Abrams with the chair.
Boy, but he's still woozy. He about
head.
fell over when he swung that chair.
Yeah. Oh, the damage has been done, even though his hand is
and
raised.
he's ticked.
Oh, yeah, he's mad.
I can't remember the last time I saw Chuck Wagon angry.
Yeah, usually he's so happy-go-lucky. Not this time.
Not now.
Yeah, not after what Abrams did to him. Oh, he's fired up. He's ticked.
And he's still woozy.
Abrams going to need to get out of town.
Well, I get a feeling that this ain't over.
No, not in the least. It's one fired up Chuckwagon. Referee saw the chain that Abrams used. Disqualified Abrams. Chuckwagon, your winner.
Chuckwagon.
It's not over between these two. We've seen a new fired up Chuckwagon. It's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. And Chuckwagon, he's going to chase Abrams down. He's going to chase him down.
He's going to try and go find him.
PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore.
We are so close to December Decadence. Gift wrapped and ready for you. December Decadence, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling is going to happen at the Believe Center on Sunday, December 6th. Doors at 4, bell time 5. Get there early to make sure you get the best seats possible because it is going to be jam-packed at December Decadence. As Brian Castle is challenging the PCW Heavyweight Champion, the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker. PCW Tag Team Champions Legion will be challenged by William Studd and the Acolyte. PCW Cruiserweight Champion Celeste Taylor versus Officer Rod Street. And I want to bring in Officer Rod Street right now along with Lieutenant Eva Lannis and Deputy Dave. First of all, I did not break any laws. You claimed the last time we were at the Believe Center that Celeste Taylor broke a law and then you made him pay for this crime that you say that he committed.
Shut up, loser. I do what I want when I want because what you're looking at here is the most powerful gang in America. We're called the police department. And what happens here is when we show up to the building December 6th, and we take a look at the sign outside, it may say pro wrestling, but Rod Street and the Special Weapons and Tactics team will be there to fight. What other questions you got?
So again, going back to what we saw the last time, was it really necessary? The mace in the eyes of the champion Celeste Taylor, then hitting him with his own championship belt?
I have no clue what you're talking about. I didn't see that footage.
I guess we'll have to go back and see if the replay truck can at some point show that to us. But what we do know is that Officer Rod Street will be with the police department Sunday, December 6th, as you challenge the PCW Cruiserweight Champion, Celeste Taylor. So now, Rod Street, this is your first opportunity in PCW for championship gold. You have put many contenders behind you, and now you have the opportunity for the gold. December Decadence, Sunday, December 6th, PCW.
Somerset Bingo Hall, Toledo's premier bingo hall, 7 nights a week at the corner of Douglas, Lasky, and Tremainsville. At Somerset Bingo Hall, doors open at 5 p.m., Lightning at 6, and Series at 8 p.m. Sundays, doors open at 11 a.m., Lightning at 1, and Series at 2:30. Somerset Bingo Hall, Toledo's premier bingo hall, 7 nights a week.
Remember, if you're stopped by the police for any reason, you have a right to remain silent. Use it.
Cereal beast, wear it on your sleeve. Hey, baby, do you like it kind of raw? Do you like it?
Back we are, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore. I'm Norm Waymer. You just heard from a couple of the participants at December Decadence. That will be Sunday, December 6th at the Believe Center. That's off of South Avenue, right by the Anthony Wayne Trail. Doors will open at 4, bell time at 5, just like normal. And you heard from the PCW Cruiserweight Champion, Celeste Taylor, who will be defending against, well, the self-proclaimed Officer Rod Street, who often says, when he's asked about his credentials, that he graduated from the best online police academy in the country, which I'm not even sure there is an online police academy. I think I mentioned this before, if he's a policeman, I'm a ballerina. All right, which is a hideous sight to think about in the first place. So, but they will go against each other for the Cruiserweight title coming up at December Decadence on December the 6th. And before we get out of here, we'll run down the card and kind of let you know what you're looking forward to. But what we want to do right now is we want to get you to this next match. It is for the PCW Heavyweight Championship, and it is a triple threat match. It's from just 6 days ago at Notorious November. The brand new champion, the world's most huggable wrestler, Brian Castle, from right here in Toledo. He won that title the night before, 7 days ago, at Fan Appreciation Night. And he will defend against Amazing Nate Matson and the two-time former champion, the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker. And you know the Mod Father is going to be in his corner. So you got the last two guys to pin Rick Baker in the ring. In this triple threat match, you got a guy with 2 PCW heavyweight titles in Rick Baker, and then you got the current champ in Brian Castle. It was one incredible match. I don't think there was a lull in this entire match. One of the best title matches I've ever seen, and one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen. Brian Castle, the new champion, defends against the Righteous Maker Rick Baker and the Amazing Nate Matson, and it's coming to you right now.
And always will be the world's most huggable wrestler, your PCW champ, Brian Castle. Your referee is Jeff Hughes.
A triple threat for the PCW Heavyweight Championship. Sean Boomer Bratton along with Norm Waymer. The Amazing Nate Matson, one of your challengers. The other is the Righteous Maker Rick Baker, and the champion is Brian Castle.
Oh, look at that. Rick Baker just grabbed the belt.
Can't believe he lost it on Fan Appreciation Night to Brian Castle.
Well, for those of you who weren't here and did not see it, there was no TV. You can see pictures of what happened that night at our Facebook page, Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. But Brian Castle pulled the upset, took the title away from the Righteous Maker Rick Baker, who is now, he's the former two-time champion. Now, Nate Matson was guaranteed the title shot here tonight.
And he did indeed get his title shot, although not quite in the manner he expected, not thinking it was going to be a triple threat match.
Well, during that match, someone in a mask came out and grabbed the Modfather and took him to the back.
And we still have absolutely no idea what was up with that.
No clue. And that really gave Brian Castle a chance to work on Rick Baker one-on-one.
Now Baker's on the outside. Will Nate Matson and Brian Castle go at it on the inside?
Now whoever gets the pinfall is champion. It's as simple as that. Brian Castle could actually lose the title without getting pinned. And I don't think it's fair to anybody.
No. And a double hip toss on the Righteous Maker, who again scurries to the outside.
Well, there's one thing two of them can agree on. They don't like Rick Baker.
But then Nate Matson capitalizing on the opportunity. Castle shoves him off, ducks through, waistlock.
Now one problem is, if you're not in the ring, you can't win the title.
No. So there's the Righteous Maker bringing Nate Matson to the outside.
Oh, no!
Throws him right into the guardrail.
Nate Matson's hurt.
He's got tossed right into the steel.
Got slammed right into it. And those are totally unforgiving. You're seeing a nasty streak in Rick Baker.
Now Matson's back though. Again, realizing he's got to be in there. Can't be left out of any type of pin attempt. Has to break everything up.
My favorite move.
Right in the eyes.
High reward, low risk. I think I've said that before.
But it's very true. They must have overheard you.
Oh, look at Nate Matson fired up.
And look at that, Brian Castle real quick to break up that pin attempt.
Well, let's not forget here, both of these guys in the ring have pinned Rick Baker this year. Nate Matson did it to win the Cruiserweight title, and Brian Castle did it to win the Heavyweight title.
Now it's going to be a rush to see who can pin Rick Baker first.
Yeah, Nate Matson might have become the Heavyweight titleist had it not been for Ben Boone.
And Nate Matson has had so many close
These
calls.
two have been friends for quite a long time, but this is about titles.
Brian Castle has now made it to the top of the mountain. He wants to stay there. Nate Matson has been very close, but he's just been missing that around his waist. Castle goes to the outside as Baker dumps him out. So yeah, friendships, you got to toss them aside in situations like this.
Do not turn your back on Rick Baker. Gold follows this guy around.
It does. You may not like his methods, and most don't, but he's effective.
You can handicap this match. You're a better man than I. Ah! Did you hear that?
They got everything on that, and that one as well.
Wow!
Oh, Brian Castle barely made it back in. That was done if it wasn't for Castle, and Matson's upset that he did that, but that's what Brian Castle has to do.
Where does the Modfather shop? Pimps R Us?
If that store exists, that's where he goes, but he has to find everything in like
Well,
what
I didn't know they had a children's section
yeah,
there.
the juniors or the children's. I think he goes to the missus section.
Now you got Castle and Nate Matson going at it. Not sure what the Modfather's telling Rick Baker. Oh! Are you kidding?
Well, they somewhat cooperated for that suplex. About the only way you'll get Brian Castle over on a suplex. But again, Nate Madsen goes for the cover, and it's got to get broken up. This time it was broken up by Rick Baker.
So difficult to win a match like this. Oh! Yeah, there's no mats outside the ring here. It's just a hard floor.
Yeah, Nate's been tossed onto the floor, tossed into the guardrail.
I'd like to explain to everybody how much it hurts, but I'm not sure I can.
No, words can't ever explain it. It'd be something you would have to experience, and you don't want to experience it. Whip in, back elbow.
Deion Thompson's here tonight, former UT Rocket.
Always good to see that.
Who's heavy into jiu-jitsu. And he said, I always wanted to see what was underneath the ring, and I showed him, and he kind of just shook his head.
Now, why is the Modfather over with me?
I'm not sure.
I wonder what that stench was.
He touched you. Yeah, I know. I can smell it now.
Uh-huh, yeah, exactly.
Thought somebody let a skunk into the building.
I think I'm going to have to burn my clothes. It touched me.
Oh, gosh. Not only did Nate get thrown out of the ring, he hit his head on our table.
And this is really going to leave Rick Baker where he wants to be. Although I spoke too soon as Brian Castle took over on.
Yeah, you still got to deal with Brian Castle, who's the heavyweight champion.
And that didn't go over so well for Rick Baker at Fan Appreciation Night.
You know, Brian Castle is 2. Wow! Brian Castle's a PCW original. He's been around since this organization's been around.
Yes, he has. He had issues with Ben Boone back in the day, too.
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't had issues with Ben Boone?
Nate Manson's fired up. Cannot turn your back on Rick Baker. Suplex. Wow.
Who's going to give first? That's really what it comes down to. I mean, these three have taken so much abuse in this match.
So you want to be a professional wrestler, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
They are dishing out hellacious punishment in this match. Sleeper.
Double sleeper.
Not sure how well Castle has that sunk in.
Now that turned into a double jawbreaker.
I marvel at watching Nate Matson. He is one of the best ring technicians in the business, period.
Gets better every time out, too. Never stops learning.
Oh, my gosh!
Be the most solid chop I've ever seen. Where they both walked into the drop kick from Brian Castle.
This is an amazing match.
Yeah, this is off the charts. Has him hooked.
Ah! 1, 2.
No, Madsen was barely there. Where's he going with this?
Figure four.
Oh, that's locked in. The X factor here, though, is Brian Castle.
Can he tap? Will he tap? Oh!
Now, that's one way to break up the figure four. Damage done, though, to Rick Baker, who's struggling to stand right now. Now, the Modfather's up on the ring steps.
Come on!
Trying to give his cane. Boot up. Castle absorbs it.
Ah!
There's that code breaker. Now there's Ben Boone.
Oh, come on!
With the spear. Ben Boone with the spear that the referee didn't see, and Baker goes on top.
Oh, come on! No! No! Oh, come on!
Your winner and new Powerbomb Championship Wrestling Champion, the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker!
There is no justice!
Unbelievable.
There is absolutely no justice!
Now look, Norm, what's coming down to the ring?
This is the guy we saw last night at Fan Appreciation Night. Who is this? Who is this?
Baker's gloating right now.
Who is this? Oh!
Diamond Cutter on the new champion.
Who is this?
We have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
You're supposed to be in charge of this.
He just laid the belt on Rick Baker and he's leaving.
Doesn't look like it, but Rick Baker is our new champion. You've got to think Ben Boone cost Nate Madsen and Brian Castle. Yes.
Again. Ben Boone cost Nate Madsen the Cruiserweight title, and he's cost him the Heavyweight title twice.
And he cost Brian Castle the championship as well. Look at what happened. That affected Brian
Security,
Castle.
please help.
They
The
have
Righteous
signed
Maker. Security the
for
Righteous Maker.
December the 6th a last man standing match with Nate Madsen and Ben Boone, and I will
Let's
guarantee
give it up for the
you
Righteous Maker.
whoever loses that match is going to
Rick
be
Baker.
done.
And we thought the stakes
They will be taken out.
were high before, but now when you add that layer in,
Rick Baker has no idea what happened.
no, none whatsoever.
He is the most unhappy new champion I have ever seen.
No champagne,
It's the
no
same
celebrating.
guy at Fan Appreciation Night that grabbed the Modfather and took him out.
We have no idea who this guy is.
Regardless, the first ever 3-time PCW heavyweight champion is the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker.
How about your local hero now, huh? He's a loser, just like the rest of you Ohio trash.
Yeah, lots of love from the Righteous Maker. He is the PCW, the new PCW heavyweight champion. We don't know who the
There he
man in
goes,
blue
your new
is.
champion, Rick Baker.
But one thing we always know, somewhere along the line, we find out.
Exactly. Fans, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling.
Brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore.
December Decadence is on the way. PCW gives you December Decadence at the Believe Center Sunday, December 6th. Doors 4, bell time 5. Brought to you by the Monroe Superstore, Monroe Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. You can find us online, PCWExcitement.com. We are jam-packed at December Decadence. Christmas is here a couple of weeks early with what we're going to bring you. Championships on the line. That's what we're going to focus on right now. Celeste Taylor, he's the PCW Cruiserweight Champion. He's going to defend against Officer Rod Street. PCW Tag Team Champions, Legion, defending against William Studd and the Acolyte. And then this one, this title's been like hot potato going back and forth. Righteous Maker Rick Baker right now is the PCW Heavyweight Champion, but at Fan Appreciation Night, Brian Castle, the world's most huggable wrestler, beat him for that title. Rick Baker gets it back. Now you're challenging Rick Baker for the PCW Heavyweight title at December Decadence.
You see, Boomer, at Fan Appreciation Night, I showed that I belonged at the top of the PCW roster. I proved to all the fans in Toledo and all the fans watching at home and online that I am championship material. And then the next night, Rick Baker stole the belt from me. Now, at December Decadence, I get my chance to earn it back. I will win it back. And Rick Baker, it will be the last time you ever hold the PCW heavyweight title.
I think stole there being the key word, because we all saw what happened the last time at the Believe Center.
Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows what happened. He stole the pin. I had Nate beat. I had Rick beat. And now I have to win it back for Toledo.
And if anyone can do it, it's going to be Brian Castle. He's challenging the Righteous Maker Rick Baker for the PCW Heavyweight Champion. Brian Castle, now a former Heavyweight Champion. Feels good to say that, but we want to take away former, make current in there. It's going down December Decadence, Sunday, December 6th.
Save more at the Monroe Superstore this week when you see the low payment king and you take advantage of our $188 a month lease on the award-winning Ram. A Ram 1500 Crew Cab Express 4-wheel drive, only $188 a month. Enjoy our Ram 1500 Crew Cab Express 4-wheel drive, only $188 a month on a short-term lease at the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore. Check out all our inventory, over 700 new and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs when you visit MonroeSuperstore.com. Call the low payment kings toll-free at 1-888-4-DODGE-1.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio, with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
December Decadence is coming to the Believe Center. PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling gives you December Decadence on Sunday, December 6th. Doors 4, bell time 5. PCW brought to you by Ralph Mahalik, the Low Payment Kings at Monroe Superstore, Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Championships will be defended when PCW invades the Believe Center for December Decadence. You will see the PCW Cruiserweight Champion Celeste Taylor defend against Officer Rod Street. Legion, the PCW Tag Team Champions, defend against William Studd and the Acolyte. And then for the PCW Heavyweight Championship, things have been all over the place the last couple of months with the PCW Heavyweight title. We know right now, though, Righteous Maker Rick...
Lucky. You see, Brian Castle, you actually thought you was going to keep this, didn't you? You know, sometimes people just get lucky, Boomer. But this time, Brian Castle, December 6th, your luck is ran out. Like I said before, you don't even belong in the ring with me. I don't even know how you got a title shot in the first place. Man, my father, can you believe this guy actually thought he was going to keep this? You see, I want my title back. Tell him, my father.
You got it, you're going to keep it. I cannot wait for December Decadence. I've read patience is a virtue. You're looking at 2 men here that are not virtuous. And Castle, you're gonna get hurt.
Righteous Maker Rick Baker is the PCW Heavyweight Champion. Lost it to Brian Castle at our Fan Appreciation Night. Regained it the next night. Now defends.
Never lose it again.
And defends.
Make sure you tell him
and he says he will never lose it again. He defends against Brian Castle Sunday, December 6th at December Decadence.
Back we are to wrap up here, PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling, brought to you by the Monroe Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Superstore. We also thank Mike Seeger, Red Wing Shoes, for being a sponsor, along with attorney Jerry Purcell. And doesn't matter what the area of law that you need some help, you need somebody in your corner, Just call Jerry Purcell, and you're going to get one of the best. All right, you saw the match, and it was, believe it or not, the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker, wins his third PCW heavyweight title, the first time anybody has won the title 3 times. But who was the guy that came out at the end of the match? Who was the guy that glommed the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker? We don't know at this point. I get a feeling that we'll find out sooner or later. But a very annoyed Rick Baker, even though he regained the PCW heavyweight title. It's a little bit puzzling, but it's going to be one-on-one. Rick Baker, Brian Castle, the rematch at December Decadence, Sunday, December the 6th at the Believe Center. That will be your heavyweight title match. You will see Legion defend their PCW tag team titles once again against William Studd and the Acolyte, and what an out-of-control match it was the first time. The second one promises to be, well, nearly the same thing. Hopefully they could keep it in the ring this time. As I mentioned, PCW Cruiserweight title on the line. Celeste Taylor defending against Officer Rod Street. Andy Shane in action against Jan Hotto, with, of course, the Mod Father in his corner. So once again, you got Andy Shane wrestling with the Mod Father somewhere around the ring. Rematch with Big Chuck Wagon against Jay Abrams. Nothing really got settled in that match from what you saw a little bit earlier. And what is now signed as a last man standing match, the Big Bear Benjamin Boone against the amazing Nate Matson. This feud has got to end. It's going to end at December Decadence, Sunday, December 6th, because at the end, only one man will be standing. All right, we got to get on out of here. If you want tickets to the show in advance, go to our website at pcwexcitement.com. You can pay right there through the website, and we'll mail the tickets right on out to you. It could not be easier. Let's not forget, it is December the 6th, Sunday, December Decadence. That's it for now. We got to get on out here. We will see you next week. And remember, as always, it's not PC, it's PCW Powerbomb Championship Wrestling. We'll see you next week.